Howdy, this is tubalcain again, and this is number 13B of the What Is It Mystery Tool series, and B again stands for the answer. So if you didn't see 13A, go back and look at it. But there are two tools here that we're trying to identify, and the first one here, and before I even start on it, let me mention that a viewer saw that I had a pretty dilapidated case here, this General Electric case, and said, I'll get a nice one, I'll send it to you. So that's Steve Pepin, and thank you very much. And it's a brand new case, isn't it pretty? And there was an offer from yet another viewer who was a leather worker, and he said, send this to me and I'll sew it up. But, well, that would be twice the postage, but I thank him for that as well. Anyway, I took the masking off of these, but what we have here is a surface roughness scale or gauge. General Electric. And there's two of them. Now they still make these. I don't know if GE does, but various companies make these. I think Rubert makes one. Someone mentioned that. He called it a Rubert gauge. And some of them are made of plastic rather than metal, so they might be cheaply made so they can be kept in the drafting department. And the reasons for using one of these is they're attempting to quantify the smoothness or roughness of machined surfaces, and I think they make these for castings too, a little bit different type, but this is for basically for machining. And the smaller the number, the smoother it is. So number 4 here is the very smoothest. And then on this other side here, the 2000 is very coarse, and that's in micro inches. And the whole idea here is for the machinist to compare one of these finishes with what he's working on, and the drawing more than likely specifies the roughness or smoothness that is desired. And it is very expensive to get those smooth surfaces, and this is the kind of surface that we needed at Caterpillar on fuel injector parts, and they used a profilometer, I guess it is, electronic instrument that has a stylus in it, and all the companies make those too, because this is pretty subjective. I can see the boss and the worker arguing about the quality of a finish. And in each one here there's one for milling and one for turning and so on, so there's several different samples. A lot of reflection here, but a number 4 stands for it's a costly refined surface produced by honing, lapping, and buffing. So it's very expensive to get a finish like that. On the other hand, the 125 is classified as a medium commercial finish, and that's the roughness surface recommended for parts subject to loads, vibration, and stress. Okay, that's enough on that. Surface roughness gauge. Many of you got that. Most of you got that. I was surprised how many people knew what that was. I myself did not know exactly what this was or is, other than it's called a dichrometer, and I had accused it of being a poor man's micrometer. And in a way, it is. But somebody right away, Chrono, sent this to me, and this is the original patent drawing from 1953. There's the patent number if you want to look it up on Google, and there it is, and it's called a pipe gauge. It's really neat how we can see these patent drawings now without going to Washington, D.C. This one was missing the ruler, so I just stuck another ruler in there, happens to fit. And if you can see in the picture here, right here, that's a piece of pipe with the ruler, and he's measuring the diameter of it. Just like this. Not that you couldn't use a ruler by itself. And then for checking the wall thickness, we're using this. And we're reading it right here, so that's about 106 thousandths wall thickness. Now let's see how it corresponds to this. Well, my neighbor's got a burr in there. You hear that Model T go by? I'm getting about 110 thousandths there. Now, why you wouldn't use one of these? Well, they didn't have dial calipers back then, but they certainly had vernier calipers. But I suppose that this was just a heck of a lot cheaper than any kind of precision instrument, and maybe the workers could carry this in their pocket, although that would tangle in your pocket. That wouldn't be any good unless they had a little leather case for it. But anyway, that's what that is. It's a pipe gauge, according to the patent drawing. But I'm sure you could measure anything you wanted with it. So that concludes this little episode of What Is It? Be sure and tune in for the next one, which will be on soon, and it'll be number 14A. Thanks for watching. This is tubalcain.